Hi, I'm Kyle, and on this episode of the MWA podcast, Sean, Brian, and I are asking Jeff Wyatt the other 5 questions. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out Jeff's interview on episode 578. So welcome back to the show, Jeff.
It's great to be here.
Well, I can't wait to get to the 5 questions, but as always, we're going to dip our toes into the woodworking news. So first up, kind of a sad affair, but the passing of Kelly Mayer. I think there have been a lot of posts out there about this, especially like the one that Wall Street Press had. And I think he was fighting cancer for a number of years, but unfortunately he did succumb to that. So it's a sad thing, but you know, what a life he led. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Well lived for sure.
Well,
yeah, one of the earliest things, like when I started getting into and learning about, you know, Pop Wood back in the day, and was an introduction to them. And I mean, obviously he was based in Berea, where the first WIA was.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a little pilgrimage down there one year, not during WIA, but my family got to walk through town and I got to step into his shop. It was really cool guy. Sad to see him go, but he left a hell of a legacy.
Yes.
Taught a lot of good people, a lot of good things.
Yeah, it is nice. So Godspeed and rest in peace, Kelly.
Absolutely.
With that, we'll soldier on to some new tools that I saw, and that is Blue Spruce has some woodworking rasp. Some of these are sold out as we're speaking, but maybe by the time this posts, they will have been restocked, so to speak. But these look like nice rasp. One of the things they're selling, rasp, you know, they have a kit that's like $250 that has hand stitched woodworking rasp in like 3 different sizes. You can buy them individually. They also sell a nice cleaning brush. One of the things I think is really nice if you already have rasp is they do have these replacement rasp handles. They're $70. They have these little set screws that lock onto the tang of the rasp. And these handles look absolutely fabulous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bolivian rosewood.
Are they resin infused like their mallets? No?
Ooh, good question.
They're just standard wood.
Question.
I mean, it'd be a weight difference. I don't know if it would really matter, but probably not. Let's be honest, because you don't need that in a rasp. You want something that's light.
Yeah,
you're not bogging down your tool.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I just was looking.
But they look really nice.
They look really nice and really like quote unquote universal as far as being able to fit.
Oh yeah, you think?
Yeah.
And they're hand stitched, are they not?
Yeah.
So I was looking at that. They're
they're
from, where was it? B&B Artigiana. Artigiana. Sorry, I'm terrible at Italian.
Right.
But yeah, so they're made in Italy. They're hand stitched in Italy for this, which is premium heat treated blanks from our friends in Italy at B&B Artigiana. And ferrule system adapted from farriers built to stand up for your vigorous needs in horseshoe maintenance. So
yeah, it would be neat to see how the I always pronounce wrong, but the Aurora,
French
versus Italian showdown.
Yeah, I'd be curious. And these are they say there's a 7-tooth fine and a 5-tooth medium pattern. I don't know what that means performance wise,
but I gotta have it.
But I got it.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I gotta have it.
Take my money.
I just went on Gramercy's website, and these are comparably priced with Gramercy.
Gramercy does?
Okay. Yeah, Gramercy doesn't sell an 8. They have I think a 5.5 or 6.5 and a 10-inch.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the price falls right in between those two. So
I think, I mean the decent metal and the act of hand stitching. I remember watching a video on RU when probably something that Chris Schwartz put out some years ago and they showed like this. I mean, they're literally that. I'll pay for that labor.
Yep.
You know, like it makes sense. This is not expensive for what it is.
Yeah, and they work really well.
I do.
Oh yeah.
When Lee Nielsen
I don't have
those, they had like their specification handle on it. And those handles they're jam up. They're really nice.
Yeah, that's what I have. I have those with I got them from Lee Nielsen with the Lee Nielsen handles. Yeah, they're nice. Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Boom.
Jeff, you're going to be at Highland soon, you said, and I wouldn't be totally surprised if they have some of this in stock. Maybe you can put your hands on them and let us know.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not forcing you.
Well, speaking of blue spruce, they also have what they're calling an inspection square, which I think is a super accurate square. Let's see, it's down to what? It's individually tested to 0.001, so that's 10,000 over the length of the blade. So not bad, not bad.
Yeah, and so that's because it's a continuous metal L, right? And the wood is just, the handle is just kind of encapsulating the bottom of it, but the metal is proud, so you're not ever relying on that wood to be a defect in any angle.
Yeah, it's more for
The
comfort.
square is kind of
comfort and keep it stable.
Exposed of the important parts to allow for that.
Yeah. And what I thought was interesting is now there are no markings on the square. It's just strictly,
no, it's just
but the edges are beveled, which makes it very nice to
marking.
To really get in there.
I mean, it's a marking square. I mean, the inspection would be if you're talking to, like, you're trying to try an edge for square, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But what they show
or
is
a
machine
machine setup or
across.
something like that.
Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah.
Same wood species that they offered in their rasp handles with the Bolivian rosewood or curly maple. So that obviously is what they're sourcing lately.
Yeah.
But pretty nice. What's the dimensions of it? Is it 3 3/4 long, 4-inch total? So that's the
blade's 6 inches long.
Yeah.
So it's
over a pound. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like it's a fair. I mean, the bevels it looks like it's lighter, but I bet that's pretty thick.
Yeah. I think that's a thick piece of metal there too. Yeah. Let's see. Does it say?
13/16 inch thick. So that's let's call it 3/4. Let's be honest. That's a thick hunk of metal. Or maybe is that the?
No, that's a stock. That's a stock.
Oh, okay. That's
I think the blade is an 1/8 inch. That's still a thick blade.
That's still a thick blade. Yeah.
So
there's a lot going on there.
Yeah. So but it looks to be, and right now it's on sale for $150 basically.
Yeah, it's about $20 off. So get it while you can if you want it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not too bad. I would put it up to, there were a number of squares back in the day that were super great. One is, his name escaped me. I have a square.
Vesper?
Yeah, Vesper from Australia.
Oh, Vespers were sweet.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it was that price or maybe a little more.
It was a little more.
And
yeah, a little more. He had a little more.
And I'm not sure mine's 6 inches long either.
Yeah, I have a few Vesper squares and a couple of sliding double bevels. I have one Vesper that is completely flat. It's one of the 5 masters he ever made.
Oh, really?
Mark has one as well. So we have 2 out of the 5.
Wow.
I don't ever use it because I'm afraid to drop it.
I use mine pretty regularly, but not day to day, and it's not my go-to. But yeah, if I need to double check something or
it sounds like almost like a Lord of the Rings situation.
It kind of is.
Yeah, pretty much is. Yes,
we're gonna travel the world finding the other 3 to complete the set.
Just a bunch of guys with coconuts outside my thing.
Yeah, right.
I think who makes one of the nicest squares though is that Tony LaRue.
Relu. What's his handle?
Hillview Tool Company.
Yeah, Hillview. Yeah.
Hillview. It's just beautiful. I have a couple of his things. It's pretty. I mean, his stuff's pretty nice. It's pretty tight.
And what's cool about that, I mean, and take nothing away from what Blue Spruce and Woodpeckers are doing, but Tony's doing it in his own shop with his own machine. It touched his hands. Yeah. There's nothing else going on there. There's no mass production really. He's doing it as best he can, but he does good work.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Pretty awesome.
Well, let's pay a visit to our friends over at Woodpecker.
Well, of course.
They have the Calzilla.
I would love to be in that marketing meeting. What do we call this?
The Calzilla. They've had a number of Zillas, but anyway. So what this is it's caliper heads that you can put on some of their rules, and it makes the rules into giant calipers. And it has some neat little fixtures so that you could actually dial stuff in, like inside measurements, outside measurements. And
Yeah.
it has these things that can, they're conical that can attach to these calipers so that they can fit in holes. So you can measure the distance, the center distance from one hole to another. I think that's pretty cool, actually. But the other question I have is why. But
Yeah.
If you're doing casework though, like you're doing big stuff. You know,
yeah, I mean, if you got to be that accurate, I don't know. I don't see where a tape measure is not going to work for 99% of the things.
Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
have their rules. I have a set of Lee Valley, like Veritas rules,
Yeah.
like a 6/8. I don't know. It's like a 6,
Yeah.
12, and 24 inch. They're big aluminum, like I mean,
Yeah.
they're stout as hell. The calipers for them, there's a purpose.
Yeah.
I'm just not quite certain because there's a lot of, if you really get into the nitty gritty of it, when you're designing something like this, where as tall as those pawls are, and the things, the conical things that fit in the bottom, and the top points and the inside points, that stuff has to be aligned really well.
Yeah.
In order for it to make sense if you're measuring. If you're doing that, think of a caliper. Think, you know, just anything like that. Or a beam rule. This is kind of like beam rule-y, right?
I am not opposed to, there might be something where this is absolutely the right tool to have. I just can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are instances out there where this is the tool to have. But
when you're making a circular tabletop and you want to determine the diameter, you can
within
use
a thousandth of an inch.
Caliper.
Yeah.
Well, not really, because it's not like micro.
Well, a 30 seconds of an inch.
Yes, let's call it a 30 second.
This is like the monster shave equivalent of a spoke shave. It's enormous for almost no reason.
Yes.
No way. No. So the monster shape is a beautiful piece.
It's beautiful.
It's
great
beautiful.
for the seat.
It's beautiful.
I love you for the front of the seat blanks, but
but besides,
don't you bring monster shave into this?
Oh man,
Caleb's gonna throw me out of the trust tree. Sorry.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Man O'Malley.
We're
2
taking
years
that
from now,
best
there's
for
going to be
square away.
someone saying, "Don't bring Calzilla into this."
Yeah, exactly. And then we're gonna get our chocolate and our peanut butter, and it's just gonna go sideways. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
We're
Keep those
taking
two
that
things
best
apart.
for square away.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No,
if you need
I'm
some
with you,
giant calipers, woodpeckers have
Yeah.
it.
To adapt
And-
to those red anodized rulers that you
Yeah.
have hanging on your
Now,
wall.
if you already have the red anodized rulers, I think this works on most of the rulers that they
It looks
have.
like it. It looks like
And you can just buy the caliper heads for $200, or you can get the caliper heads with the 49-inch woodworking rule for $270.
Wow.
As of right now, these are limited time deals. But
How much is your 49-inch rule by itself? Because that difference is $70.
yeah, I know. I'm like saying, if you want this, you might as well go for this.
Yeah.
The
A
49.
49-inch rule is something to behold. I mean, you don't measure anything that's not
Yeah.
large with that. You don't lay it on something that, if you're making a box, unless it's a cabinet, you're not using that. Like that's big. That's as tall as a child.
Yeah.
You use it as a felling axe in a pinch.
I mean, you could. It's a weapon in the right hands.
Yeah.
Like that
Of
is
course.
a beam to behold.
Yeah. Of course, Brian, if you would have had the Calzilla when you were trying to fit the desk through the doorway,
Yeah.
you might have known.
You know.
Well, I would have had that, but not the intelligence to think that far ahead. So
Yeah. But now you are. That's the important thing, is you don't make that
That's right.
mistake twice.
that's right.
That's right.
The mistake has been made. You learned the limitations, and we move forward. Well done.
Exactly. Well, before we leave the woodworking news, I do want to have a couple of mentions out here. We had a Haystack reach out to us and let us know that they are celebrating 75 years of their woodworking and craft school up there at Haystack. So check that out. They have a number of things happening throughout the year. I think they have a 75 birthday celebration on December 8th. They have some 75 regional presentations from January through December of 2026, as well as a speaker series from April to September. And then they have a anniversary summer benefit in July of 2026, along with their annual open house in August of 26. So if you've been to Haystack, it's a fabulous, fabulous school. That's a Haystack Mountain School of Crafts. So check that out. We'll have links in the show notes. But they are celebrating 75 years. So congratulations to Haystack.
That is very cool.
Congratulations, huh?
And it's very cool. And also, we got something from SBI, the Sam Buford Woodworking Institute. And they wanted to let our listeners know that they have some upcoming classes, a new lineup of classes coming in. In fact, this year they have such luminaries as Jeff Wyatt.
What?
That guy.
Anyway, but yeah, Jeff's going to be teaching there along with woodturner Roberto Ferreira, if I'm even pronouncing that right. That's Ferrer, and he's and then they have Scott Grove and International Wood Carver of the Year, Alexander Grabowski, and I'm not pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, it's Grabowski. Yeah,
okay.
I mean, you're going to swallow a lot of those vowels.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So anyway, but they have a lot of stuff out there, as well as Michael Jury is going to be teaching a class out there on his contemporary Windsor. So go out there to the Sam Buford Woodworking Institute. That's sbwi.com, and we'll have links in the show notes. But they're gearing up for their new line of classes. So
I'm so interested. I've been actually looking at these because I'm very close.
yes. We already said you need to go take one of Jeff's classes. You need to go take Michael's class. It'll be great.
You gonna finance this?
And
I'm an ideas guy.
Oh yeah,
ideas guy.
I got you.
the big picture.
Yeah.
The big
What's your
picture.
picture?
Sam
Jeff-
Buford, they also acquired, I think, like 12 or 13 one-way lathes. So
Mm.
they're really just kind of supercharged their wood turning program.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Well,
Yeah.
Jeff, when you're in town in late July, if I don't sign up for that class, I may just stop in and say hi
Yeah, you got to stop in.
because you're 40 minutes from my house up there.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I'm right there.
You could invite him for dinner or something.
Brian came to Nashville and then told me after he went back home. He's like,
Sorry.
I was in Nashville.
We've been working.
There you go. I'm
So
flipping it up.
busy. So busy.
Yeah,
That's right.
I gotta see that is just a few days after my son's birthday, but I might be able to see. We'll see. My
Well,
parents,
take
my
him to
parents live in
Sam
Adrian, and it's right.
Yeah. Bring your
Like-
son up there.
Yeah, that'd be a birthday present.
He'll be
Like, hey, we're
23. Yeah, sure.
We're taking a trip to Adrian, bro.
Yeah. Have some beers. They got to have a
Yeah.
brewery somewhere around there.
You can DoorDash with Jeff's son. It'd be good.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, with that, let's thank our patrons. So who do we have to thank this week?
For sure. Our Patreon shout out goes to our Patreon supporters today. We're giving that shout out to Morgan Grove. Thank you, Morgan, for helping us out. And if you would like to join Morgan in helping out our podcast, you can do that by going to patreon.com/MWA podcast.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Morgan. And let's move on to the 5 other questions. So, Jeff, what tools are you considering adding to your shop?
There's I love tools. So
Our limit is 23. Limit is
right.
23.
The biggest purchase I'll make, after Christmas, probably sometime in January, would be the woodpeckers at JDS, the multi-router.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I've been looking at that for the last several years. I've always been a huge fan of it. And I think woodpeckers is kind of, not that I'm a huge woodpeckers fan, but everything they do a nice job on.
Yeah.
I think
Great engineering.
very
tolerances, quality,
American made, just do a lot of stuff. But that multi-router, and I'm a huge fan of, green and craftsman style furniture. One of the things I'd like to do is a blacker house chair, So, matter of fact, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, I ordered the templates from NG Woodworks out in California.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's one of my all-time favorite woodworkers. I had a job out there several years ago. I met him. Mike Johnson, that does the Malouf chairs. That was Sam's assistant. Met him, and I also met NG himself there out in California. Had lunch with him. Was a great guy. Just unbelievable. He's one of my all-time favorite woodworkers. Just to kind of do it. I would never want to do any type of class or anything like that, but just for fun, the blacker house stuff and the green stuff is huge Darryl Pruitt fan. I would like to kind of get more into that. About I guess about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, Mark Spagnoli for the Wood Whisperer sold his FMT Pro. So he had that like super. He had it like super cheap. He had like all the bits, everything you could imagine for. He just said he just never used it in his workflow. I picked it up and it was just it's just cool. I mean, you make some mortise and tenon joints at angles and stuff, and this is that's kind of like the basic version compared to the one that Woodpeckers has.
Yeah, because they bought the company and then I guess they improved on the initial design.
Yeah,
yeah,
which was cool because they didn't like put a bunch of like red anodized handles on it and stuff. They just kind of kept it going the way it was.
I would be asking for that. Where's my red anodized handles?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't want that. I don't want that anywhere on there. But it's cool,
Cool.
So the next question is, are there any changes you would like to make to your shop space or workflow?
Absolutely. So the last couple of years, I've been selling off everything that doesn't make a chair. I went from 1,200 square foot shop to a smaller 2-car garage, and I try to keep everything. So it was fairly tight in there. And I'll sell one of the I'll get down to one lathe. One time I had 3 in there, so I'm down to 2.
Wow.
Get ready. Just having it's nice, so if you're doing, one of my kind of guilty pleasures is, I love wood turning, and I love doing different stuff like turning oval bowls, oval platters, stuff like that. One of those, I don't know if you're familiar with that Vicmark oval device, but I don't really use it a lot. So maybe at some point down the road, I might sell it, I might not, but it doesn't take a lot of space. But just trying to get down to everything that doesn't make it a chair, basically. Curtis Buchanan has a nice philosophy on his workshop, not to let things enter into the shop that you really don't need.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything that could help me make a chair is more than welcome, but something's got to go.
Right.
That's really good, actually. And just bringing up space, feng shui kind of movements.
Yeah. I agree with that. Unfortunately, I don't live by that, but I can.
I mean, I can agree with it without actually doing it.
Fire.
Yeah.
And I'll say this too. So I'm somewhat blessed in a way. I have a very nice storage area. It's probably I don't know, 18 by like 30 foot, something like that, where I just keep all my wood in there. So I'm a little bit of a wood hoarder. I have some nice shelves I put all the way around in there. I keep, if I need, X amount for turnings, do 6 chairs, 8 chairs, whatever I need. I'll grab what I need, bring it to the shop, turn that. I don't have excess wood hanging around. I don't have lumber racks. I just get what I need and use it, and that's it. So that does help out quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Our third question, is there a technique that you would like to learn or a class that you would like to take?
Yeah, I'm always looking at classes, always looking at ways to improve. If Jeff Lupwitz was still teaching classes, I would spend as much time with him as possible. Since he's not, I definitely would love to take a class with Pete. I kind of mentioned that, touched on that earlier. Pete Galbert, Dave Sawyer, would love to take a class with Dave, just to keep continuing the chair making. Yeah. And then, I do have a class every year. I try to do at least one class. And so last year I took a class with Jean-Francois Escalon. He's a French turner. So he's probably one of the best in the world. I mean, the guy is unbelievable. They have, I don't know if you're familiar with what they call tremblers. So basically you have, 40-inch piece of wood, and then you turn it down and it's held with strings, steady strings. You turn that all the way down into about a 1/8, and then you have a bulb that's about 2 inches, and it'll have a certain design, and there's no sanding involved in it. You're making beads, coves, all different kind of ornate turnings, and you're going right down, and then just keep adding the steady strings on that. It's not functional. I've made a couple of them now. They're a lot of fun. Take class with him. I'm going back out to Las Vegas in this December to take a class doing some oval bowls with Christian Bassard. So another French turner. The French they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, they
Nice,
know what they're
nice.
doing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I saw that
grass, you know,
trembler thing on your Instagram, and
Yeah.
I mean it's a very interesting like visual piece, like you said, non-functional, but like just to see what it is. It's very
Right.
delicate, very. I mean, just even the wood selection for that must be very.
Yeah. You definitely want something straight grain, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, but it's really a technique based.
Is it all skew?
No. It's the very little skew. It's the French Badan. So
Okay.
a lot of those beads coming into the beads and like the bird's beak, you really got to use a French Badan on that, and that's
Okay.
It's not a very forgiving tool. No,
Yeah.
it messes up. It's catastrophic. But you can't really do that level detail without a French Badan. They're pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
Nice. So I'm not familiar with the French Badan. Explain that a little bit.
So you can buy those. I think what's the company, Dymec or something like that. You can get them at Lee Valley. So basically, all it is, there's a couple different versions of Badans.
Right.
Some are like at a trapezoid. That's not that will give you catches all day. That's great for parting. This is basically like a 3/8 and a 1/4 inch rectangle square stock, and then you basically flip it over and grind it at 35-40 degrees, and one edge it stays perfectly flat. So you don't want to. You can hone it, but you want to hone it flat. You want to. If you roll that edge, you'll get a cut.
Oh, okay.
How you sharpen it's very simple to sharp, but it's also super easy to screw it up. And you won't know why you're getting a catch if someone hasn't instructed or told you why not to do that. So because before I took that class, I tried it out a couple times. I rolled the back of that edge, and I would get catches all the time. I was like, this is just a bunch of BS. I'm not even dealing with this thing.
But
so I put it away in a drawer. Stayed, and then Jean-Francois, he looked at it, and with this little French voice, he's like, "So grind too good."
You don't grind.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's
Yeah,
cool. I mean, it looks like it's a simple tool, but it has to.
Yeah, it's a simple tool, but man, it's you got to be right on.
Understood. Yeah, for our listeners, go out there and look at Jeff's Instagram. It's got it has some interesting stuff. That is interesting.
Yeah, very cool. I didn't realize the diameter of the bulbs were that large. You could get a little lost with the in the scale of it. Yeah,
so that's why that has to be such straight grain, because those, when you get down to the 1/8 inch diameter and you put a string steady on it, if it's not, you'll just go along. And I've done a bunch of them. You'll be 24 inches into it, and then you just hear this little crack noise. And it's holding it. The string steady's just be holding it, but it's not spinning anymore. Just the other half of it is.
Yeah, it's just it's like it's not right apart. Wow.
Yeah, and I guess that's once in I guess it's a plastic or glass tube you have it in, and
a glass tube. Yeah.
That's just to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to measure your the inside diameter of that glass tube before you turn all that, because I've done it before where I made the first one I did. So each of the glass tubes are a little bit different. So I measured the first one, that came out great. Slide it in. Then I just assumed they were all the same. So I just kept my calipers the same. I go to do it and click. I was like, no, you gotta be kidding me.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. It can't support itself. It has to have a
glass tube. Yeah,
because it can't any bend. I'm sure
any bend's gonna get. Wow, that's delicate stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So kind of on that subject, not necessarily, but what is your favorite type of wood to work with?
So I love cherry, love walnut. It just really depends on what the application is. If it's like a 6-slat rocker, I don't think anything looks as nice as walnut, right? And cherry is absolutely beautiful. I made the mistake of having the slats that, I thought it would look great quarter sawn, and then the quarter sawn slats, it's just too much. It's flat sawn. It's a nice grain structure. It looks really pretty. The quarter sawn, it's too busy, right? So cherry, and to me, my own opinion, sometimes it can be a little bit too much, right? So, but I do love cherry. I love, cherry pepper mills, anything really to do with cherry, but it's got the right. But one of the woods that I absolutely love, I would say, and I don't get to work with it a lot, but it is mahogany. Mahogany is so nice. The guy, and I'm a huge fan of the green and green stuff. When you put those ebony plugs to the mahogany, it just it pops. It looks so pretty. It's just so beautiful. So the mahogany is probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, I've had a chance to just with tiny scraps of mahogany. A guy I used to work with, he wanted me to turn spheres, little balls of a 3/4 inch diameter. And it was the smoothest thing I had ever turned. Just so nice, almost buttery. Really cool.
Yeah, it works really well with the tools.
It does. It's just, and it carves so nice too. You can do so many different applications, and it holds the texture really well. It doesn't dent too much. Pine, it dents up the Windsor seats. They do dent out quite a bit.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Final question is, what is your current go-to finish?
I've been using just the Real Mill Paint Company, the wood wax, for the last 3 or 4 years. I've been using that pretty much over the top of milk paint, whether it's for the ladder back chairs. It looks great on the hickory bark. And the main reason behind that is just because my son likes to use it. So I don't want anything, no chemicals. It's easy. I don't have to worry about, it's just, I think it's beeswax, carnauba wax, and maybe some kind of oil added to it. That's all natural. Right. So they're Real Milk Paint. They're real big into having, non-toxic, certified, blah, 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 great stuff, But you can eat it if you want to, I guess. I don't know. But
just lick on it all you want.
It's just, I have copper using it.
It's a wood finish. It's a laxative,
Right. But the drawback, and I don't know if this is an actual drawback, but say every 3-4 years, that ladder back, it will dull out a little bit, right? So I'll put another application on it. It'll pop again, just like it did when it was brand new. Looks great. Maybe that's about it.
Cool. Well, Jeff, before we let you go, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Just at Copper John Woodworks, and right now, the last couple of weeks, I've been working on getting a website ready. I'll be doing some turnings. So I've been kind of do that, and the people have been contacting me for doing the turnings for Windsor chairs. I've been doing that quite a bit, so I'll have something out here fairly shortly, maybe in the next couple of weeks or so.
Okay, nice. Might have put myself on that list. So anyway, but I got a lot of seat blanks from all the demos I have to do, and I need to finish those. I have wood for legs and stuff, but you never know. But we will also put out there a link to your video, your Windsor chair making video with Pop Wood.
Oh, great.
So people can check that out. And beyond that, thank you so much, Jeff, for visiting with us again. And we greatly appreciate it and can't wait to catch you down the road.
Yeah, for sure. It's great. Right. Good deal. Thanks for having me.
And that just about wraps it up for this show. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the show on the podcatcher of your choice. Just search for the Modern Woodworkers Association. And while you're there, please leave us a review. You can follow us on Instagram at MWA_podcast. And if you'd like to support the podcast, go over to patreon.com/MWA podcast. But the best thing you can do is tell a friend. Word of mouth goes a long way in sharing our discussion.